but somehow when they use these damn mics, it all sounds muffled to me. Anyway, what it took, I guess, was the fact that nobody else wanted the job. I'll give it to you very briefly. I was about 17, and I had had a lot of other jobs. I was an office boy, I had been a theater usher, I wrote advertising copy for a hospital. I never knew why I was advertising the hospital. Was I supposed to be trying to hope people would get sick? I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. Anyway, I was out of a job at the moment, and I heard there was a position open at a company called Magazine Management Company. Now, they published a lot of magazines, men's magazines, pulp magazines of different types, crossword puzzle magazines, and comic books. I didn't know what the job was for, but an assistant was needed, so I applied. I must have been the only guy who applied because I got hired. And then I found out it was for the comic book department. Now, the department consisted of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, and a guy named David Goodman, who was the publisher's brother, and I never knew what David did in all the years I worked there. He walked around with a ruler, and he would measure pages to make sure that they were the right size. That was all. Anyway. So I was working for Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, and I had some very sophisticated things to do. I filled their inkwells. See, in those days, they used ink. You dip your pen in ink and you brush it in. I would go down and get them their sandwiches for lunch and run any errands. And I also did proofreading. And again, when the pages were drawn in pencil, they were later inked over by an inker. But somebody had to erase the page to make sure that all the pencil lines were gone. I was one of the best erasers. And man, if there could be a career erasing, I'd have been at the top of the heap. So anyway, I erased pages, and that's what I did. And while I'm sitting here talking, I'm just thinking to myself, because very often you can say one thing and you can think of another. So while I'm expanding so beautifully on what I'm talking about, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell was the question? Did I answer it, or did I think okay, all right. Are you satisfied, Mr. Questionnaire?
Very satisfied.
Okay.